Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A, where we answer sporting questions from the chat. This is all for the residents in the lovely city of Sarcasm, people. So get your questions in. It is international break. England back to winning ways. Should Lee CARSLEY get the job? Thomas Tuchel has also been linked with the England job, as well as Thomas Tuchel being linked with the Manchester United job as well. But like I stated, get your questions in. Big up to Saeed for the raid every single time. Everyone who's joined over from Saeed TV, whether you were here before the raid, make sure you run up the likes. There's over 160 people watching right now. Hit the like button on the video, and that's whether you're watching live right now or watching this back after the live. Share across all the socials at That's Me Flawless, at Sarcasm City TV, at Sarcasm City TV. That's Me Flawless, people, on Twitter and Instagram. So retweet and like from Twitter, share from Instagram, and just as important as well, make sure you hit the subscribe button on the channel. It is rolled to 13,000 subscribers. So big up to everyone supporting Sarcasm City TV. Hit that subscribe button right now. Get your questions in like I stated. If you're a member of the channel, I will star your question and I'll get to it. So they're the two rules when it comes to the Q&As. If you're a member of the channel, I'll star your question and I'll get to it. It's one of the many great perks. Link for the membership is in the pinned comment. If you super chat, I'll get to your question as well. Keep it sporting related. It might be on the Bivol Better Be a Fight, which has caused a lot of controversy. The Bivol Better Be a Fight. That caused a lot of controversy. I wasn't tapped in because I was on with Omar. I missed the first fight. I was watching the first 4 or 5 rounds, but I wasn't in tune. But I'm hearing Bivol did very, very well. Oh, did I not send the link? My bad. Did it not send? Yo, Twitter be playing up at times. My bad, Jez. My bad. I'm gonna send the link through now. I did click send. It's one of them, yeah. Not sent. Tap for more actions. Joke thing. I got you. But like I said, you lot continue to get your questions in as well. Yeah, just sent the link through. Let's see what you lot are saying. Big up to Kingsman. Big up Venetia. Hope you're well. Big up King. Black Diamond in the cut. Big up to Total Eclipse. Ravi. Abs, all in the chat as well. My family tree Dunty in the building. Also, he says hit the likes, and if you subscribed, make sure you do so. Hey Solomon, good to see you in the chat as well. Match Day Guru, big ups. Says big up Flawless in the chat. Big up to you lot. But yeah, get your questions in, people. Get your questions in. Jazz also in the building as well. What are you telling me, Jazz? You good? What are you saying?
Yeah, man, I'm good, man. Waiting, bro. I know it's been a couple of hours ago since we met, but
yeah, facts. I hear that. For real. I hear exactly what you're saying. Ravi says, Flawless, you spoke facts on Ineos on Saeed's channel. I appreciate that. And it's like, yeah, they're just a joke of a institution. They are. Shouts to Becky. Good to see you in the chat. Touchline T in the building. It's a fire. That's a fire name. Do I rate Onslaught? Yes. From what he's done, no faults. You can only fault him for the Forest game. Other than that, he's been super impressive. That's all I can say about him. Refs ruined the fight because of the scorecards. Yeah, I didn't see 116, 1-1. But like I said, I didn't went watching like the first 3-4 rounds. But everyone said that Bivol won more than it seemed. 116, 112 seemed kind of a wide scorecard. But that always happens in boxing. We know the judges ain't like we talk about officiating in the Premier League. Officiating in boxing has been like that. I see people trying to blame like, oh, it's the Saudi influence. Like we haven't seen bad boxing cards for as long as I can remember. Even when the correct person wins, because normally it's 3 judges. But even when it's more, but like when it's 3 judges, even when the right person wins, there's normally one of the scorecards you look at and you go, how did you get that? I never forget Mayweather Canelo. That was a majority decision. People forget that one of the judges in that fight called it a draw. How? Same way Mayweather Pacquiao. I think I gave Pacquiao 2 rounds at most. Maybe 3. And that score, even though they picked Mayweather and got to the right person, boxing judges have been off it. They have been. So I need to watch it back. Big up UK Drilly as well. If you could swap one player for Bruno now, who would it be? I wouldn't even swap one player for him. I just release him for free. That's what I do. What you say, Jess?
No, I was saying, bro, sounds like NBA referees, bro.
Yeah. Well,
bro,
that's it. Bro. Like judges are just bad. Like again, because I see people trying to blame it. Oh, it's because of the Saudi influence and Riyadh season nonsense. I just mentioned 2 fights where even though the correct person won, the scorecards were woeful. The scorecard, I say Mayweather Canelo, Mayweather Pacquiao. I remember vividly watching it and just being like, "How did you even get to that? How? Like it's terrible." Hey, that's boxing judges for you. That's what that is. What do you think? What do I think of the rumors of Edin Terzic? I can only go off what Jez says about him and what Steve said about him, and they really don't rate him. They really don't rate him at all.
Bro,
so I look here and go, no. I've heard Jez complain about him all season long. Yeah, go on, Jez.
Bro, one of the big reasons why he even got to Dortmund is that because he grew up as a Dortmund fan. Telling you, he was even a season ticket holder. And I remember the Champions League final versus Bayern. He was in the crowd, bro. Like as a Dortmund fan. So, bro, I'll be honest. If United ever get this guy, that's probably one manager you can say can do as bad or do worse than Ten Hag. I'll be honest. Like I heard your man say obviously earlier that you would take any manager, which isn't wrong itself, but if it's Terzic, then I would be like, fucking hell.
No, facts. No, I hear you. So that's why I'm not with the rumors of Edin Terzic, but it's international break, so it's going to be quiet simply because, I mean, there's going to be a lot of rumors simply because it's quiet. And on the actual title as well, England, you lot continue to get your questions in particular members. England back to winning ways. And I thought the reaction to England's loss was over the top. Yes, they performed poorly against Greece. Greece ran out, deserved winners. However, Lee CARSLEY tried something. You tried to play a very, very attacking lineup. It backfired. He rectified that in the game against Finland today, and they ended up winning the game. But the Nations League and friendlies is the time to try things. Like that's what you're supposed to. Like that's what you're supposed to do. Like that's what they're there for. He's supposed to try that in a World Cup. He's supposed to try that in a Euro Championship or a World Cup qualifier or a Euros qualifier. No, that's what the Nations League and friendlies are there for. And he went with a 6 and 2 attacking 8s or 2 attacking 10s in Palmer and Foden. I seen the lineup and said he went for it. I think his only mistake was playing Bellingham like that because Bellingham's not a false 9. Like he's not going to link up the play, which is what you need when you have 2 10s behind him in Foden and Palmer. But it didn't work. It didn't work. But I think it was. I think the criticism we received was way over the top.
I think it's come from the fact that. Bro, because I literally had the same argument because I used to say about Southgate how I think because there used to be the guy, which is ironic. He wasn't even a Southgate fan apparently, but he was, and we arguing about Southgate a lot, and I was saying how he's not this and he can't do this because he's been so long in the job, and obviously when Lee CARSLEY came in, I was saying a couple of things like I like what he did in the under-21, and so he took it as a Bible and said, "Oh, so you rate him to the point where you would like him to replace Southgate." Obviously, I don't support England, but just for the conversation point of view, I said, "Yeah, why shouldn't England hire maybe Lee CARSLEY? Give it somebody who just maybe people don't know a lot." Then first international break, he did good in his first international break, quiet. Then in the second one, just now, first game lost it obviously to Greece. All of a sudden, he comes back to me trying to talk about Lee CARSLEY, is he the guy? And I'm like. This is when I realized I feel like a lot of people who are angry are probably just the Southgate guys who are still like, that you know what, Southgate is still the guy and they can't accept change. I feel like these are the guys who are angry. Like, and I'll be honest, Lee CARSLEY said it himself, and he indicated to the point where he doesn't want the job. I think if it comes down to a point where they can't attract the manager, then maybe he takes it. But I think his mind is probably towards the under-21s and England just go and look for a new manager.
Is it? And to worry, Jay says, Lee CARSLEY prepares his exit as England interim coach. I think this job deserves a world-class coach who has won trophies. I'm still on the path to that. Which, again, self-awareness, which makes sense. And CARSLEY may get there one day. He may actually win trophies. But like I said, the response to the defeat was crazy. He tried something, it didn't work. And then I said, okay, just make sure you don't do it again against Finland. Then he rectified that. He played Rice, Gomez, Bellingham was in the 10, Palmer played from the right, Grealish from the left, Kane up top. And it worked. It's like you can't lose as England manager. And I've seen contrarians like Prime retweeting stuff like, England, it goes to show Southgate maybe wasn't the problem. You know what I'm saying? He loves to be a contrarian. Shout out to Prime, but he loves that type of thing. Such a wind-up. But yes, Southgate was a problem. That doesn't mean England necessarily go on and win a World Cup, but was he a problem? Yes. But shouts to CARSLEY for this. Do I think he should get the job? No, I think there's better alternatives out there. I do believe Tuchel is one, but it depends on what way the English FA want to try and go. So that's how I look at it. But big up to Sarah, big up Dens as well. Yeah, go on, fam, and JT. Yeah, go on.
I think it's important as well is that whoever the next manager is, because obviously since you obviously don't get too many opportunities to go and actually train with the team, like whoever the new manager is gets like the 1 week of training in November. That's it. And then you also got to remember recoveries and then the matches as well. So it's not a lot of time. So I feel like whoever is the manager that they're picking, they need to make sure that manager is actually, you know what, from the English players who are already being called up in recent times, I'm comfortable using these guys and I know I can get a lot of all of them. I think this one should be in mind as well. And then you continue on from that.
Absolutely. I fully hear that. Before we continue, there's over 160 of you lot in the building. We're only at 41 likes. Like check 1212. Like check 1212. Let's up those likes, people. Let's get us up to 80 likes. Hit that subscribe button as well. I know there's people watching this right now who've not hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell when you do so as well. It's road to 13,000 subscribers. We're at 12,722 people. We got to be 3 more. We're trying to get up to 12,725 people. That's what we're trying to go to. So let's go there. To Black Diamond says, wait, I thought Prime changed his ways. Now Prime's still a contrarian and a wind-up. Warrior J says, from your point of view, who do I think will be the New England manager? Probably Tuchel. All the noise that I've seen, no other noise surrounding anybody else. So I can only go off that. I think it will be Tuchel. What are you saying, Jess? Who do you think it will be?
It looks like Tuchel, but I don't know at the moment because who knows? Because it says Tuchel right now, but this could just change immediately, you know, for whatever reason. So I'm not sure. I would say Tuchel if I had to say a name.
To Denz, who says, if Tuchel ends up with the England job, who's your preferred choice for Manchester United manager after Ten Hag? Man's been hammering, so I don't want Tuchel. And when I say that, we was having this discussion. It was on one of the Pro Club streams. Shout out to Sheik. Big up to Spoobs as well, because we're all United fans. We were talking about it, and Spoobs was with the Tuchel thing, and me and Sheik really not as much. If we were to get Tuchel, it's something I can support because there's actually pros to Tuchel. There's actually positives I can look at and go, all right, you've done this, this, and this. These are your good qualities as a manager. I'm literally open for I'd support any manager getting a job. That's not Southgate at this point. And to the Southgate point as well, I've made this point. Ornstein rubbished that before the Aston Villa game, but people don't want to mention that. Because Ornstein had said Manchester United were interested in Southgate or are now. Because I can't remember his exact quote, but it was Manchester United had no interest in Gareth Southgate in the summer, and nothing has changed that so far. But because social media ran with it, and content creators ran with it, and mainstream media ran with it, it became a thing. Same way, what became a thing as well is Manchester United can't sack Ten Hag because of money. Ornstein also rubbished that, which was common sense. Common sense. Graham Potter, Andy, wouldn't be over the moon, but again, Graham Potter has his pluses. There's things I can point to. So let's say Jez right now is saying, Potter be a great fit for Manchester United. I know he's not saying that, but I'm saying hypothetically we're debating it. Jez could have pros. There's things he could name that I go, okay, that's a fair point. Well, Potter does this well and does this well and does this well. Like, whereas others and that's most managers. As long as there's some pros to the manager, I'm for it. As long as there's something, you just have to bring me something. There's no pros to keeping this manager and there's no pros to a Southgate, for example. But yeah, that's just me. To type, yeah, EAFC 25, I like it. But of course, I'm running pro clubs on it. I don't really run anything else on it like that. Big up to Black Diamond says, exactly, Ineos are a minority owner. Majority is still Glazers. You can't side with my enemies and still be my friend. Flawless preached on Saeed TV. That's why I didn't like him in the first place. So I doubted him in the first place. I'm not with it at all. Yes, Matchday Guru. I've enjoyed. That's why I've done Ipswich games for watch-alongs on purpose. I've watched them 3 times this season. They remind me of Luton in regards to very entertaining to watch. Very, very entertaining to watch. And it goes to show how coaching matters. Because they don't have world-class ballers there, but they play an attractive, attacking style of football and go for it. They're going to be in a lot of entertaining games this season, like Luton were last season. Like that Newcastle 4, Luton Town 4 game was one of the best games I watched last season, just sheer from an entertainment standpoint. Now over 170 of you lot in here. We're only at 46 likes. These likes are moving slow. Let's run them up, people. 80 likes. 80. Like check 1 2 1 2. Like check 1 2 1 2. Run up the likes, people. What are we doing? And where was I at? Yeah, I mentioned it already. Yeah, Prime's still on that same stuff, but shouts to Prime every single time as well. Whoever pulls up Omar from the group chat, usual settings, that's how the Q&As are. Whoever decides to pull up. Let's see what else. You like. I'm just making sure I ain't missed no questions as well. You look quieter than usual. Like I say, get your questions in. I don't want the haram ball at United. I'm done with it. 1 2 cool. Also, here's the thing is that's why it wouldn't be ideally. I'm not saying go get Tuchel. That's why I want England to get him, because I don't particularly want him at Manchester United. However, he was first on their list because he's the only manager I think publicly that has been stated from reliable sources that Manchester United interviewed. And whether we turned him down or he turned us down or they couldn't come to some form of agreement, wherever the case may be. Oh, did the Liberty win? Okay.
Yeah, this time around they actually held on.
That means we got at least get to a game 4, so that's more content for us. Just football. Not all sports then, but only you have to ask me about boxing or NBA or football, because I don't really follow any sports outside of those 3. Jess follows a little bit more than I do, but yeah. Feel free to get your questions in. Also, shouts to Warrior J, because we got the specials. So what I'm doing next week, some of you lot would have seen it on the schedule who have checked it already. It's not the regular schedules, it's the Sarcasm City specials, but this is the second wave. So those that remember the last set I did, it was like 5-6 months ago, where I had all the biggest content creators in the game. So Rants, Troops, Lewis, Hassam, Matisse, Saeed, just to name a few. Gunnar did one as well, and it was basically their content creator journey. It was one-on-one, and I did him the entire week. Now I'm doing it next week, Monday to Friday, Sarcasm City specials, but the difference is it's the second wave. So I'm doing all the up-and-coming content creators who are the second class, who are the future Mount Rushmore and future GOATs and future 100K, 200K, 300K subscriber channels. So for instance, Northside will be doing one. That's a name I can say. Northside's doing one. So me and Northside will be one-on-one, and he'll give us his whole backstory from his content creator journey from the very start all the way up until now. So that's what I'll be doing. And if you haven't seen, so shout out to Warrior J, because he's been doing the timestamps for the previous ones. He just did the Troops one, the Lewis one as well. I'm getting notifications. So big up to Warrior J. For those that haven't seen him, go and watch, because I learned a lot about everybody. I learned a lot. And I've got one on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday. And I'm still trying to organize a couple others as well. So Thursday, Friday, you'll get one as well. But I've got some very, very, very good special guests. And people, I don't know a lot of these people's backstories, some more than others. So I'm going to find out a lot. Like, for instance, the one with Rants was 3 hours. I learned so much. And Rants is bro, but there's so much I didn't know. And so much the public didn't know. Troop spoke about, like, it's him going Barstool. Lewis spoke about his style. It was, A1. Thoroughly enjoyed him. Some of my favorite content to be involved in. That's what I'd say. Then says, all right, cool. Who do you think could win NBA MVP this coming season? Season MVP, not playoffs. Really think Luka is overdue on almost. I was thinking Luka. What are you saying, Jess?
I think the usernames are gonna be there as usual. Like the Luka, Giannis maybe this year will be there. Jokic is Jokic, so he will be always there. But I'll go with my guy. I think SGA can really get the MVP this season. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, obviously, that's my bad. It's just my because obviously usually I call him SGA, which is a shorter abbreviation. But I felt last season he was already last season in contention for it, and I think what just let down is that him. There was a period where he didn't play, and it just ended up letting them down. And other players just took over. So, but Shea was pretty close. I think he was second at the end of the season. So, it's very close there. And I feel like with the additions that we made with Caruso and Hartenstein, if you can cement the first seed this season, maybe we can look at it, and Shea stays healthy as well. I feel like he can definitely compete for the MVP this season. So for me, yeah, Shea.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Guru says, I think McKenna will do a great job at United, regardless of some of the deficiencies in your squad thoughts. I think he'd do a great job, but I think he'd be, from what I've seen, it's only a short period of time, a few games with Ipswich. Yeah, I think any decent manager would do well with the squad. I don't think it's that tough. I really don't think it's that tough. That's why when we did the United Arsenal show and Tony was trying to be over the top with United, as most people are, because we're bad, but people want to make it worse than it is and start talking
So
about
familiar.
things that ain't nothing to do. Yeah, like started talking about things that are nothing to do with exactly what's going on. Like going over the top. That's the word I'm looking for. That's the phrase I'm looking for. Oh, what elite coach is gonna come to Manchester United? One, we don't need an elite coach, and two, you're an Arsenal fan, you don't have an elite coach. Arteta's not. There's very few elite coaches, in my opinion, in Europe. I mentioned it on that stream. I think there's Ancelotti. I think there's Pep. I think Flick. I think I'm missing one. I think you could argue Inzaghi and Zidane. That's it. I don't think there's many elite coaches and elite managers out there. I think it's those five. Any of those five available at Manchester United? No. So we don't need an elite coach. We just need a competent one, and we'll be fine.
That's a good obviously thing started to the conversation, but I'm trying to think in terms, because you're talking about elite coaches right there. Because obviously I think I've watched the video or stream. It was about world class players currently. And what do you think in your definition is a world class player, or in what does a player have to be considered a world class player in your eyes?
Oh, that's a good question. One,
because the conversation started because the stream. I think the question, obviously this wasn't Marshall's stream, it was a different stream.
Yeah,
is Cole Palmer a world class player, and is he definitive world class?
Yeah, I think there's exceptions to the rule. Like with my definition, I think one, you have to.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I need.
You have to perform at a high level for 2 seasons or more. First and foremost, you have to perform at a high level to be able to perform in any. You have to be able to perform in a non-functioning team. If your team can't, if your team doesn't perform well and you can't, and you just disappear and your levels drop and your impact drops, I look at you funny. Like, no, to me, you're not world class. They're the two things. So I look at you have to be of a certain quality and a certain level, whatever position you play, number one. Number two, you have to done it for 2 years or more consistency. None of this drop-off thing. Can't take a season on, season off, then 2 seasons you're electric, and then 2 seasons you're bad. None of that. And 3, I'm not hearing about players being missing. Nah, perform. Less of that.
Nah, because I was thinking.
That's just me. Go on.
Because this is what I was thinking is that I feel like obviously world class. I feel it depends which generation we're talking about. Because certain generations have never seen all the players, and obviously conversations always how them guys were genuine world class. Where these guys, like, you call them world class, but it doesn't feel the same. But then again, it's a new generation, so you can't judge this generation with the older guys no more. So you have to kind of say, okay, what's world class now for this group of players and all that. And I obviously agree definitely with in terms of the consistency, because I feel like it's very easy. It's very easy for players to be on world class form, even like where you can be like 6 months you're playing to untouchable level, and then you just play. You play good, but then you don't have the same impact. There's times where you don't perform at all.
Yes.
And I feel like this is where I'm trying to look at certain players like this is why I look at certain players and I'm like, okay, you getting caught world class. Yeah, I don't generally believe like and see I had this argument before in terms of within the Tottenham squad under Pochettino. I never used to believe that Son is world class. I used to think that Son is a top class player.
Yes. I think
that's what I used to feel, because for me it's like, even though Son, he was scoring goals, he was getting assists, I feel like compared to Kane, where Kane was just bagging goals and goals, and Kane doesn't have the clutch moments in big games, but it's just the pure inconsistency throughout the season. I feel like Son sometimes benefited of the fact that Kane was just so good, where people had to take attention to Kane. And then you just like this. Like, I always view Son as a sidekick, but that doesn't mean that he was some sort of like shit guy or some average guy. I still think he was a top player though. There's no disrespect to him. So it's kind of like it's just the way I don't know. It's just the way I look at it. And I feel like there needs to be. I feel like there needs to be a criteria.
But you know what it is? Everyone's criteria is different, and I think also. I think there's exceptions to the rule as well. I think even though I have my criteria to certain people, I go, "Oh, you're an exception." Like to me, Palmer's an exception. He had 2 seasons, but I watch him, I go, "You're just him."
Okay, then let me ask you
just him. Go on.
Okay, Jack, you can be involved as well, man.
Go on.
Give me in terms of attackers, defenders, midfielders, and defenders. And that goes from fullback on centre backs, both combined, if you want to. Give me 5 players in all those 3 positions where you believe those players are world-class players.
Before we carry on with that, this is good. Let me just get to a couple of things, but we're going to go right back to that. That's a great point. Big up to the young G Nero. Just going to get to this quickly. 15 months locked in. Come on, my bro. Shout out to my young G Nero. Member of the channel for 15 months. Shout out to my Don Lex every single time. Been a member of the channel for 11 months. Shout out to you every time, Lex. Big up to Omar. Says, yes, sir. 5 months as a member. Big up. Big up to all the members, man. Real ones. Link for the membership is in the pinned comment as well, people. But in regards to the question that you just mentioned there, all right, so players who are world class right now. So like, and Mike's has made the point, and others have made the point as well. I don't think there is that many world class players. I agree with you, because the game's gone system based. I think there's world class system players. I think there's certain players, if you put them in a certain system, they'll perform to a world class level. You take them out of it, they're not. I think De Bruyne is a prime example. Do I think De Bruyne is world class?
Yeah.
No. I don't think De Bruyne is world class. No.
Okay, then should we then put should we put into consideration of including the fact that they're playing in this certain system that you call them world class? Because obviously then because I think then a lot of us would be struggling to name you 5 players. Even I am trying to generally think right now for attack, midfield, and defense.
We'll go centre backs then. When we saying centre backs wise, who's 5 centre backs we would say are world class?
I think
Van Dijk's one.
I think Van Dijk is there.
I think Dijk's one. I think Saliba is there begrudgingly.
Sorry?
I think Saliba is there begrudgingly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I had to include Arsenal centre back. I feel like it needs to be there. So we have Van Dijk, Saliba. I can't lie. I put Bastoni. This is not my order, but it's not an order, by the way.
No order. Don't have to put order. 5. Yeah, no order.
I generally believe Bastoni is a world class centre back. And I think he's extremely underrated.
I can argue with that because I don't watch him like that, but when I watch him play, man, I'm saying Rudiger. I rate Rudiger highly. I'm putting Rudiger.
Yeah,
I'm putting Rudiger.
I think Rudiger.
That's 4.
I'm trying to think of 5th centre back. See, I used to put
Daniel. We'll put Palmer in as a 10. Well, when we do attacking midfielders, we'll throw him in that mix. Yeah, go on, fam.
Yeah, because I used to think what's his name? What's his name? No, I forgot because there's a player I used to think is world class for centre back, but now I'm like, fuck, I don't know, fuck. I come back for that player because I love it.
I don't think there's another centre back. I think it's Van Dijk, Saliba, Rudiger, Bastoni. I don't think there's another one. I don't think Dens. I would have said Ruben Diaz, but his drop off, he ain't been it.
That's it. That was the guy.
Yeah. I used to think Ruben Diaz, but he was in great form. It was world class form because there was times where you could argue he was the best centre back in the league. But yes,
because in the first season, and when he came through in his first season, he was generally world class in terms of performances. But then from there on, it hasn't been the same. Yeah. It hasn't been the same, so I can't really put him in that category. So I used to think Ruben Diaz, but not these days anymore. John Stones, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I don't think John Stones either. So I would say I would go with those 4 right backs. I think you're struggling. I think outside of Carvajal and Trent, that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
If there's another right back, someone let me know. I put Carvajal in that bracket. I put Trent in that bracket.
Watch somebody say Ben White, bro.
That's it. I don't put any of them. And then left backs, I'm struggling.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. The fullback spots, I don't think that. See, I think.
Is there a world-class left back? Because Alphonso Davies is my guy, but I'm being told that
he hasn't been.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's my guy.
A genuine world-class left back right now in the world. I don't think that. I think there's a lot of top class. Like, see, people can maybe say Theo Hernandez, but then even then, I don't necessarily think I think he had years where he generally was performed to a consistent level of just world class. Now, now though, I think he's been top class. I think there's a lot of top class left backs, if you ask me. But a general world class left back.
I don't think there is. I think there's good young left backs. I think there's quality left backs. There's top class. Like I rate Adogi. I rate Robertson at Fulham. I rate Hernandez, but there's no left back. I rate Mendy to an extent. That's at Real Madrid, but there's no left backs. I look at and go, yeah, he's world class. None of them. For true.
No,
I was saying no, we added Bastoni.
We added
Bastoni. Bastoni was one of them.
Yeah. What's it called? We definitely not put Guardiola as world class. Like Guardiola had good performances here and there, but bro, this dude's not been playing some world class level shit, bro.
No, he's not. And big up to him for the super chat. Appreciate it. Says Guan Broski. Hey, salute, man. Appreciate it. I don't think there is any world class left backs. I don't think so. I won't put Andre.
I think though. See this might because he's not a left back. And I think I only saying this because he actually been performing on a consistent level. But then this kind of shows you in terms of where the world class maybe at the left back position is. And I think DeMarco because I think DeMarco's actually been consistent for a good number of seasons, especially under Inzaghi.
You want to throw DeMarco in there or Hernandez?
Yeah, I'd rather put DeMarco in there before I put Hernandez in there.
And big up to him. Remember the channel for 4 months. Hey, big up, man. 4 months.
Big up, man.
4 months. Let's go. Love that. All right. Yeah, what we saying? Defensive midfielders. So this is your sixes. So whether they're a screener, whether they're a destroyer or a deep line playmaker, they're people who pick up the ball, the back row and stuff. Obviously, Rodgers one.
Rodri, if you don't say Rice, then they're gonna kill us, man. If you don't say Rice,
sure that, Rice is not one. Rodri is definitely.
That's what I'm saying, bro. They're gonna kill us if I don't say Rice.
Rodri's one. Who else? Who we saying? Kimmich plays right back, so we can't even say Kimmich. Who else?
I would call him world.
I'm saying Tchouaméni. That's probably biased because Tchouaméni's probably my favorite. No, he is my favorite central midfielder. Like right now, he's the midfielder I'd break the bank for. I think he's him. I'd throw Tchouaméni there. I think Tchouaméni is world class.
Funny enough,
Rodri. I think Tchouaméni. You know what's crazy? You don't want to say Modric now, but Modric is just still of that level.
But is he a six though?
He's a deep, he's a central midfielder. He's not an attacking eight or attacking.
See, that's what I was thinking. You know what? For the midfielder spots, we might as well just keep it. What's it called? Midfielders like eights and sixes.
Yeah. 8s and 6s. Yeah.
So it's easier to kind of say, because then if you say 8 and 6s, so we have Rodri, we have Tchouaméni. I think Barella is generally world class.
All right, I'll go with you on that if you're saying Barella. I've not watched him like that, but if you're saying Barella,
my only opinion is that I feel like last season that was kind of like where I was like performances, but also I think all the other seasons, I think he generally has been performed to a top level. And I think that's a really good. I think
McAllister's not neither is Declan Rice.
You're not gonna go there. I'm not
who highly he don't get there either. No, to me, none of those I just mentioned. Potential is a whole different thing, but we're talking about as of right now. Would you put
Odegaard as a world class players if you include the 8 here?
No, Odegaard, no, and I rate Odegaard, but nah.
Because that's funny because there's obviously people that do even outside Arsenal fans. So it's kind of like I'm trying to gauge here what we say. I'm trying to think.
You're saying as of right now, 13th of October, 2024.
Yes.
You're saying as of right now. Like to me, Rodri, no debate. Tchouaméni, no debate. You're saying Barella will go with you on Barella. I think that's it. I can't think of anyone else that I look at and go, you're world class. I think there's top class. I think there's very good. I think there's good. But world class where you go, you at nah.
Consistent level, like you want to consistently bum, like
I'm saying Valverde. I think Valverde is top class. I wouldn't put Valverde in the world class bracket. I think he's top class.
Like just see, I agree. Like if he don't performs like he's been doing this season, I think then you can generally put world class.
Okay,
if you like as of right now, top class, because I never viewed Valverde world class, me personally. But I do think this season he's been really good, really good. And if he can continue that for like majority of the season, help Madrid win the league title, pushing the Champions League, show performances, I think you can have conversation if he's a world class player. Like I really like
Sixes and eights to the chat. This is what we're discussing.
Sixes and eights right now. 5 players between sixes and eights that you believe are world class.
And Paul T, you missed it. Bastoni got put into the centre back group.
Yeah, Bastoni's in there. See, I told you, bro. I had to put Bastoni in there.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna argue you down if you're saying. So we're saying Rodri, Tchouaméni, and Barella. They're the 3. Yeah, I can't think of anyone else.
I'm just trying to think because, like, obviously, because since I just threw the question out there, I'm just trying to think. I'm just freestyling in my mind right now the players that I can think of.
See, if this was a couple seasons ago, I would have said Bernardo Silva, but his fall off has been crazy.
Bro, he's been terrible.
Yeah. Camavinga not quite yet, but I think he will be, Jug. I think Camavinga's.
See, that's the thing. I feel like
I don't think he's there yet. But he's going to get there.
I think there's a lot of players right now who either are in the pricks maybe of getting world class or gonna be world class. I think there's a lot of players like that.
McAllister is not there. And McAllister's good.
I mean, if you're gonna have a McAllister debate again before midnight, nah, bro. I'm not gonna do this again.
That we called acting like we were saying he was a bad player because we said he's good.
No,
he's a very good player. That's it.
I'm not doing this debate again, bro. Like I swear down some guys. Shit. Crazy. I'm trying to think of 2 more players right now, but I just really do not come to my mind. Like,
well, if you do, we'll come back to it. All right, let's go 10s. I can't think of one. Maybe Palmer. That's it. That's it to me. What other world class 10s are there apart from Palmer?
See, this is what because Palmer gets categorized also as a right winger.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, the number 10, because number 10 is like, because most number 10s play on the wing now. That's my kind of my issue. That's why I feel like we should rather instead of 10s, might as well just be like right wing and left wing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
for me, it's Palmer as a 10.
Oh yeah, but shit, I forgot. What do you think? So you don't believe, obviously because we include him with the system as well. You don't believe that KDB at the moment is world class? Actually, I don't think he's been good this year.
When's the last time KDB we look at and go, oh, you've been him? You coming off the pitch against Real Madrid in quarterfinals because you tired.
Bro, people forget that, bro. I swear down.
People forget them type of things, and I think De Bruyne, but not De Bruyne now. Like I think De Bruyne of a few years ago, you could argue.
2 seasons ago. Seasons ago, genuinely.
This season, injuries have been hitting you. Let me actually make sure I'm not like with his numbers.
He got injured last season. He missed like the majority of last season as well.
18 league games last season. He played 26 games overall. Season before, all right, 32. He played 49 games overall.
Yeah, that's what 2 seasons ago. I think he was still, but probably he's just been old and just not been playing.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So I'd say Palmer, and that's it. I can't think of no one else.
And by the way, people, before you also go and try and kill us, that there's a difference between world class ability and being actually world class.
Yes.
There's a big difference. Like I think there's a lot of players. I think that because if he were putting players in the conversations of having world class ability, like I think Florian Wirtz has world class ability, but do I think he's genuine world class yet? Not yet, because like he did last season. He had generally a really great season, but that was just last season. I want to see how he continues this season though.
Man, I say Musiala. I think they just needs to see more. I think we just need to see more. I think Musiala's on. He's on the verge.
I think it's on the way. I think it was on the way. Like,
we need to
I'm as well.
Yeah, I'm like.
Okay, should we go? Okay, should we go to the right wingers? Right wingers.
Yeah, go right wingers. I think right wingers.
Okay.
I think Salah. I think Salah's
Salah.
Even if it looks like he may be dwindling off, it's Salah 100. Like Salah, without doubt, we saying Salah 100%.
Okay. Saka.
No, not yet. But if Saka carries on, yes. But Saka, no, not yet.
Okay, so this is the funny part. That's the funny part. But I've seen people trying to include Yamal in the right winger thing. I think he's a world class talent at the moment in time, and fucking hell,
I think he's probably the exception from. I think we have to make an exception.
Oh, you want to see this? Because this is what I was thinking. Was like I watched him play this season. This dude looks like a world class player out there. Like generally speaking, he looked.
I heard he had a good season at Barca last season. Then
right now he's bro. I think he has like 5 goals. I think he's already on 5 goals. and I feel like couple assists as well.
4 and
Bro,
8.
you gotta
Yeah, 4 and 8.
look
5
at
and 10.
you have to look also some of them assists, bro. Some of them assists, I'm like, yo. Generally speaking, I don't think many other wingers that we probably said right wing do the same thing. Like, and this is what I'm saying. Like, you might be right that we maybe have to put into
Jamal,
the exception kind of
you know
rule
what takes, you know what takes over the top, that he was the main man for his team in the Euros
because
and winning it.
which is crazy. 87.
He was the go-to. It wasn't like, oh, you played your part. Like Morata played his part. Like Williams played his part. Yes, Rodri was exceptional. You was the go-to guy.
Bro, they were
You was
looking at
the
you like,
go-to
bro,
guy. You was one of the main. It was you. It's Rodri. It's Carvajal. Like you weren't a bit part player, and you obviously playing your role is important. You were the go-to guy at 16 years old to take your team to a tournament and won it. Did he not win? Did he win Young Player of the Year? I mean, Young Player of the Tournament or Player of the Tournament? Did he win both or one? I know he won the young one. Did he win both? Let me know
in you talking about
in the Euros.
the youth in the
No,
Euro
the Euros just gone 2024.
yeah you won young player of the tournament. Yeah.
Did he win main? No. Did he win players? Did he win senior
The
player?
player, I think the senior player of the tournament, I think was Rodri.
Okay, so yeah, so basically, and the thing is crazy.
I'm not 100%
Let me tell
sure.
you this: if Rodri didn't get it, he was probably second to that.
In my opinion, I thought he was going to win it personally. I thought he generally is going to be. And I don't need. Was it ever done that the young player of the year won also player of the tournament? Because this was if it didn't happen, because I remember at the time I was thinking, yo, Yamal generally might be the first player to win young player and best player in the tournament. That's what I'm saying. It's just only because the only reason why I was kind of trying to think is because it's kind of because it's just crazy to me, because like it's kind of crazy to me how good he is and how well he plays as his current age. Like it's none of this and I think Fati when he came through was really good. I thought he was really good when he came through. And but like Yamal, like you just feel the impact. Like you feel like, you know what? Shit, if we need to get out of the shits, just pass the ball to this guy, man, on the right or on the left, wherever he wants to play in it.
Yeah.
So
I would definitely say Yamal. Yamal's there. He's the exception to the rule because of what he did at international. Like I spoke about it with systems. You performed. We've seen great players struggle to perform on international who performed at club.
Yeah,
so
like Bones prime example right there.
Yeah, exactly. So imagine an English player had done what Yamal had done for England. How we talk about him. Let's say Palmer or Foden had been instrumental in England winning that Euros. What would the conversation be?
Oh, so if Foden would have done that, bro, we would still have conversations differently about Foden right now.
That's my point.
Even to be fair, Palmer is just unfortunate that he didn't get the opportunity in it to do so.
Because it could have been
time. Yeah, because even time when he came on, he did make the impact, but issue was he's not long enough on the pitch to make more impact than just the goals that he scored.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Kind of like,
I'd say Salah, Yamal, man, saying Claradonna now because he fell off a cliff.
Yes, I can't put. And even though I think actually he's been performing well this season, I think it goes under the radar. I just don't. I think it wasn't even the full season. He dropped up within the season as well. That Napoli won the league title. I think people forget that. But like I said, Granadora has 100% world class ability though. But being called world class though, yeah. Like keep in mind, people like I'm a Jude fan. People that knows, but I don't call Jude world class.
Yeah. Jude's not world class, but right side, I'm saying Salah and Yamal. I think that's it.
Would you not put Palmer because you said Palmer was an exception?
Oh, we can say Palmer 10. Yeah, we can put. Yeah, if you want to say Palmer right, yeah, Palmer's right. Cool.
Yeah, because the 10s literally play wing now anyway.
Yeah, that's cool. We could say Palmer 10. I mean, Palmer is. It makes the list. So we're saying Salah, Yamal, and Palmer. We're saying those three. Okay, that's fair. Left wing. This is where it really gets tough. Jesus. Vinicius Jr. is the only one I can think of.
Vinicius Jr. 100%. I've seen people trying to get at him, saying, "Bro, no, Vinicius is world class," and he's been doing it for like a good 2.5, 3 seasons now. That you can't. He's been winning his.
Go on.
Yeah. He's been winning. He's been winning his club. He's been winning trophies for him being the one that wins them the trophy. So yeah, what you saying?
I was gonna say, as he's my guy, we could argue that Mbappe shouldn't make this list.
Bro,
When's the last time he delivered? When's the last time he had a great season?
That's the thing for me, because I feel like when it comes to Mbappe, I feel like most of the reason why we call him world class is what he's done, what he has done in the past. Not necessarily because what you've been doing. Like
as of recent,
his World Cup is literally what carries this whole thing at 18. Because I don't think we don't have the same. Don't get twisted. I don't disrespect necessarily the Liga, and don't take into account that. I think, but for me, him that one league title at Monaco tops every single PSG league title, in my opinion.
Agreed. Yeah.
And look at how many seasons that was ago.
Agreed.
So it's kind of, and then the Champions League, like you had the goal against Barcelona, you had the goal against Real Madrid, you had goals versus RB Leipzig. Yeah, I think he had goals versus Bayern Munich, but then they didn't lead to anything.
That's it. Like I look at it and I go, I'm surprised CP is not here because he always crashing on Mbappe.
Yeah, well, he always.
I can't put Mbappe in the bracket. I can't. And Mbappe is my guy, but I can't. You've not done nothing.
See, and this is funny.
But you're not doing anything. You're not delivering.
And that's the funny part. This what remember when I think it was yesterday yesterday. No, it was today. But I was talking about the girl on Sky Sports when they were going each age from like 20. I think from 19 or I think 17 all the way to a certain age, and it got to age 25, and she picked Bastoni over Mbappe, and then obviously like we're talking right now, it's like I feel like Mbappe, the reputation makes people call him world class, but are you actually Are you been doing world class shit for like, the last few seasons? I don't think. Look at the Champions League. That was a disgrace. The Euros disgrace, bro. Like. Even last season, prior to that, it's like how bad that Neymar Messi thing that last year of that miserably felt.
Because like imagine how people will say that, because he didn't win. Imagine he did win, how we talk about him. If he would have won during that period, or even before Messi got there when he got to the final and didn't win it against Bayern.
Which is funny because like Vinny is doing what everybody thinks Mbappe.
That's a valid point.
Is doing, or what people by now, people thought Mbappe will have done what Vinny has done already by now. And like at roles reversed, when Vinny plays for Brazil, we cook him all the time. That dude is shit for Brazil. So Vinny had a better career for Brazil, and he only got caught up the last one. Which is crazy if you consider how long Vinny's been there.
Yeah.
But then we all praise Mbappe for how good he's been in the World Cup. Like this is the part. Me partly, I think it's hard not. See, man call me maybe crazy. I think even internationally, kind of overrated because I feel like he in the Euros. The last 2 years I don't think he's been good.
No,
necessarily. And even then, the first World Cup where he won it, I think he generally was good there.
He was genuinely, he was sensational.
But then even the one just now that we just had in recent time, generally speaking, I don't think he was good. But what saved it, we had a conversation. We was like 10-15 minutes away to have the craziest Mbappe cooking on the Q&A. People were ready in the chat, coming into the chat, saying, bro, Mbappe this, Mbappe that, and then he decided to do a hat-trick.
Yeah, he did. He showed up. That's one thing that I will give him credit for, that World Cup, because I was on his case. I'm like, we can't call you all these things and then you perform like that. But he delivered. Yeah. He saved his reputation, because that would have been
right there. See, but and this is what I mean. But even then, like I mentioned, but throughout the whole tournament, though, he wasn't that great. So it's kind of that's what I'm calling like his international state at this point overrated, because I don't think you performed well enough in the Euros. Like if you go and win a Euros, if you would have won this Euros right now and you would have added it to your World Club, I wouldn't call it already, because you're winning and you're helping your team win as well.
They need to have a Euro. Not many players have both of those in recently playing right now. If you would have had a Euros and a World Cup, hey, props to you. And you ain't no bit part player. You was the main man. Like, you contributed massively to your team winning those 2 trophies.
That's what I say. That's what for me it's like as much. And I like Mbappe too, but as much. And even though I take the piss out of him sometimes because it's easy, but that's what I like Mbappe. That's why it's hard for me to generally put him in that world class. Like I just don't feel when I watch you. I just don't feel generally world class, because like you keep give me world class moments. Like when Mbappe goes crazy and then puts the ball in the near post, like his famous near post finish instead of going far post. But
Yeah.
you give me that moment, but I watched Palmer for Chelsea. I'm like, yo, he's just oozing quality. The ball comes to him. Mbappe at the moment right now, people saying he playing striker. Cool. It's not something that he's comfortable with, but the bro can't even sometimes take a first touch. The guy can't even beat his man sometimes when he's even on the left wing. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say.
I've
It's like
watched him
for
for
me,
Madrid this season and he's not been great. He hasn't been great by any
that's
stretch.
what,
He might turn it around, like me and Jez was talking about the World Cup. Maybe this season he turns it around and Madrid win the treble and he plays a major role and we go, props to you. You delivered this season. Well, you have to deliver. You have to. You haven't
that's what I'm
delivered
saying.
at club level in probably since your Monaco season.
And
You
that's what I'm
argue maybe a
saying.
PSG season where they got final
I think the
opposition.
first, I think the,
Argue
I
that.
think
You
it's,
could argue that. But go on.
I think his first PSG season, maybe his second PSG season,
Mm.
and the one when they made the Champions League final. I think this were the seasons where I feel like in Papa generally felt like he was playing to a unplayable kind of level. And but since that, like, bro, people have been saying this about him as well. Like, the more older he gets, the worse he gets.
Yeah. You got to deliver. I was saying this when I think we was talking about me and Vea was talking about because we're talking
Yeah,
about what about Real Madrid can't stop power players. Yeah, sure. We're only saying that because make sure you subscribe to Vea Games TV because that stops Manchester City in the champs. But yeah, in regards to him at Real Madrid, you have to deliver. You got 2 years for me. I've said this. You have to deliver, and you can't be. You don't necessarily have to be the main man, but you have to play a major role. So if Vinicius Junior is better than you, all right, but you still delivered. You were still there at moments. So for me, left wingers, I can only think of Vinicius Junior. There's no one else.
yeah, because I think that because we go back is the thing where I think Vinicius the clear out general world class player, but there's a lot of top class players in the category in terms of like because if we
Yeah.
got top class players, I think even though he hasn't been consistent the season prior, but consistent this season,
Mm.
Kvaratskhelia goes back into the category. I think Leo. I don't know why Leo got getting cooked because I think he's been actually also the first two games this season. I think Leo's been really good this season. So I feel like Leo goes into the category. I think Musiala goes into the top class category. So there's a lot of top class players, but genuine world class who I know you delivered in the last few seasons, and I know you've been consistent in whatever you have to do.
Mm.
I think Vinicius is genuine the only left winger that I can look at and say, okay, you go into my personal category and you tick the boxes.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I'd say Vinicius Junior. All right, strikers. Man, I'm saying
Haaland.
Haaland. Yeah, you can't break order. As much as I
Yeah,
criticize Haaland at
and
times, you
his
can't.
big game record is kind of funny, but
It's
the
not.
dude is just ridiculous.
But hey, Pete, for those that don't know, that used to be Cristiano Ronaldo. People won't know that though. Cristiano Ronaldo, when he was at Manchester United, then when he got the early move to Madrid, the move to Madrid early on in like around those times, he was criticized heavily for his lack of goals in big games. The fact that he had a bad record against Chelsea, the fact that he didn't have a good record against Liverpool. Then he went to Madrid, had a bad record, I think in like the first season in regards to El Clasicos. Then there's the infamous goal he scored in the new camp and he pointed and I remember that. And then it's kind of like from then on, he just took off and just became Mr. Champions League and Mr. Knockout rounds. It was mad. So I'd say Haaland, yes. I'd definitely Haaland. Man, I'm saying Lewandowski. I know he started this season very well. How did he play
This season, last season, I don't think he was world class. Last season,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to put my agenda aside here because I don't like this dude. Because of the amount of goals the guy scores, and he's been doing it even for the prior seasons. I would say Kane, you can still put him in the. I think you can still call him world class, but then even then, I look at him a bit funny. I look at him funny. I look at him funny because I do think he's actually declining. The only reason though he stays in the conversation is because he did. I think he scored like 40 goals in the Bundesliga, and I think even in the Champions League, I think he scored a decent amount of goals as well. So maybe that. So generally, just what in my opinion with Kane keeps in the conversation is the fact of the amount of goals he scored last season. Where I've said like I don't think many other players can actually score the many goals. Like yeah, I don't think so. But even then, everybody knows my thoughts about Kane. I just don't. I don't even believe he should be in the England team anymore. Like I feel like that there should be the preparation where a Watkins or a Solanke or whoever comes through needs to be kind of start prepared into being the starting striker for England.
Yeah,
because I feel
for
like
me,
I
put Kane in there. Nah, do I?
like for me, I probably should still just put him in there for me personally, just because of the amount he has scored.
He has scored a ridiculous amount, and I'm
Yeah, like
putting
because the thing is,
that same scenario for the most. But then I think it's just because I don't rate him, but I get your point now.
yes, like
I just
the thing,
don't
like
trust him. I just don't
ignore
trust him to get you over the line. Like I'm trusting Haaland
No,
to get me over the line.
I agree with
So
that.
can I put a world class player in there that I don't trust to get me over the line? Everyone else we've named, I trust to get me over the line in a moment.
Yeah.
Even the defenders, the fullbacks, were
See,
I
this-
trust
that's
them to
what's-
get me over the line. I don't trust Kane.
See, this is that's the issue though. No, this is where the issue are because I think that's been an issue with him, probably mostly his whole career, to be honest. But he's been doing it such a consistent time now, where like it's hard to not put him in the category. You can probably say, okay, he's world class, but you're in the bottom. You're on the bottom of that world class in terms of the strikers. Like yeah, the same because like you said, the issue is the guy generally doesn't step up when it actually matters.
Yeah. That's where I'm at with it. I just look at him and I just go.
Like do people look at the Euros, bro? And people look at that was not bro. I still remember the arguments that I had with people about that Euros with Kane, with Spurs fans, and there's obviously a lot of Spurs fans who are still a bit emotional about him being obviously from Tottenham and all that. And I'm like, yo, people, you have to gonna be having honest conversations. Yes, is Southgate's system not amazing, but bro, that guy was genuinely awful in the Euros. Genuinely.
Yeah.
But
be awful.
Like, this is what I'm trying to say. But that's the thing. Kane was never somebody who got you over the line in his whole career, but yet we still call him world class because of the consistency of scoring goals. And at the end of the day, like again, this is what do we judge world class striker on? Obviously, you need us to win, but the main thing about what everybody says about strikers is, do you score goals? And Kane scores to a crazy volume. So it's kind of like it's a weird conversation between me personally.
Nah, he does. Nah, you right. You spot on. You know what I'm saying? I can't argue you down in what you're saying. You're spot on. You're spot on.
But I don't think like I said, I don't feel comfortable calling world class because I think he's actually closer to the decline. But the issue is the guy just keeps scoring goals.
He's close to the top class category. You're like a point above it.
Yes.
A point above it. Now I hear you, man. I hear you. I get that thoroughly. I hear that, fam. You got a point. Yeah, you do.
No, it's crazy.
No,
it like,
so no, Mbappe didn't make the list for those that know. We're currently talking strikers now. Haaland's made the list. Lewandowski's made the list. Kane has made the list. Lautaro Martinez, absolutely not. You lot are just trolling each other. Lautaro Martinez, no. Sancho is not world class either. Neither's McAllister. Cut it out. No. You know what I'm saying?
This is what I'm thinking, like, the reason why I wanted to do this is because I was like thinking even the other day, I'm like, shit, let me actually think the players that I generally believe are world class. And I'm like, I don't believe there are that many players who I generally believe are world class. If we roll that shit back at least a decade, you have Messi, you have Ronaldo, you have Bale, you have Neymar, bro, you have Iniesta, you have Xavi, you have Pogba was even still world class at that time. Like, see, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, because a decade ago he was at Juventus.
Modric, Cruz, the list goes on.
Like the whole Barcelona midfield, the whole Madrid midfield. Then don't go to the centre backs and full backs and the goalkeepers. Neuer was genuinely still world class in that. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. I could, and this is just off my head. Matching the other players who were still for other clubs you had Dortmund players being genuine world class players. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like now it's like for me, I'm having a hard time who I generally believe is somebody world class in my eyes, and it's kind of like, you know, like shit. I used to think Marcus Royce is world class. Me personally, I feel like he was consistent. The issue with him is Stu got injured all the time.
Yeah, I get you. I hear you, fam.
So yeah, man, it's kind of crazy. That's why. Yeah, that's why I was kind of. That's why I tried to have this conversation because, Paul, it's just for me. And obviously, maybe when I sit down and reevaluate things, maybe I can put more players into certain categories or putting them. You know what? Maybe you're not top class. I'll put you in the world class. But then the issue is the way I look at football as well. My view of footballs are maybe different to the other person in the chat, maybe. So maybe you in the chat thinks McAllister's world class. In my eyes, he can never be world class at this moment in time with what he has done.
Alistair's nowhere near Rodri. Like, come on. Oh, true, man.
But this is what I'm saying. But in somebody's view, they think he is world class, and this is kind of like this is the issue of how I think what football really needs. There's a lot of things that football needs, but the one thing that football really needs is you need a book. You need a book, and then in that book there should be definition of certain things, such as world class, top class, average. No, saying something. So everybody there's
some form of criteria. There's some form of criteria.
A criteria, yeah, because it's like because the issue is there's so many people that watch football. There's so many different opinions. So like there's people who think you need to win trophies in order to be considered world class. I disagree personally.
Yeah, that's not the case. I disagree with that too.
I think it can be something in the debate, but it shouldn't be one of the main priorities in the debate.
I agree with that. I agree with that 110%. You can't just be because he didn't win anything there. Because there's certain players who are world class who didn't necessarily win anything.
I never won the Champions League. Like, you know what I mean? But so you tell me he can't be world class because he never won the Champions League.
Facts.
That's the issue. That's the issue. Like, I can't have that as one of the main criteria. But to some people, that is the main criteria. And I'm like, no. But that's what I say. We need a dictionary for football. That's what we need.
That's true. But then it's because you got variables in those things. And like I said, you got exceptions to the rules as well. At a certain place, you see, oh yeah, he is, and people are quick to call people world class. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Now we'll have a good 2 months. Oh, he's world class. All right, sure. Like,
my younger stuff used to be that. Like, I used to call guys like world class, and then I developed kind of like my thinking of the way I view football, and it's like,
that's what you're supposed to do. But I think of some of my takes when I was younger horrific because you're younger, you don't know any better. If you're 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. What do you know? 11 years old, 12 years old, even like 13, 14. Now, when you get 15, 16, that's when it clicks in. And it's like, Then 17, 18, as you become an older teenager and you've been watching football for 4 or 5 years or 6 years, you're like, all right. And then there's no excuse. Once you start hitting 20, 21, 22, there's no excuse. You've been watching probably a decade.
Yeah. 100%.
Probably been watching a decade. And yes, Daniel, you can't have a world-class season. That's why you get the streets never forget ballers. You'll forget someone who like Michu had a world-class season for Swansea. Was on smoke.
Like I hate to do it, man, but I think Dele Alli goes into the category, man. Like, bro, he generally was out there. Just like I always had question marks about Dele Alli's development as a player because I felt like he never was really coached to a high level where he sometimes came in because he used to be like that second striker role in the 10. But he was never an 8. So I feel like because he never got trained to be an 8, what let him down?
That position died. That's what happened.
Yes, and then he died too. And it's kind of like, and then physically he also, and then all the other shit that happened. But just saying about Dele Alli goes into the category. Okay, actually, then let me ask you a question. Where do you think Musa Dembele, what do you thought of Musa Dembele at Tottenham? Because I saw Coach Camps and Harry Pinero interview Rudiger, and Rudiger in the video said he obviously the question was, who do you think in all the teams that you have played was an underrated player that should have been given more recognition? In his mind, he never played Musa Dembele, by the way.
Oh, right.
And the question, and because he was so good in his mind, and he even said it in the interview saying how he can't believe that. He even said in the video, no diss to Tottenham, but he couldn't believe that he didn't play for a bigger club. So that's kind of my question, though. Where do you view?
He never got the opportunity really to be world class. Think about it. If Modric doesn't move from Spurs to Madrid, is he seen as the same? No. And we all know how talented Modric is.
He would have been like, you know what? This was a really good footballer. Yeah.
It would have been. What could have been? Dembele top class. Could he have been world class? Yes, because he had all the attributes. What did he not have in that situation? He just never got a move to Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, in the Milan, AC Milan, Juventus, Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool. He never got. We never seen you get the opportunity. You're a quality rapper. We just never heard you release an album.
Yes, that's a good analogy.
We heard you on features on other people's projects. We heard you.
So we heard you freestyling on radio.
Freestyles, everything you knocked out the park. Freestyles knocked out the park. Always stand out. Features stand out. Singles you put out here and there stand out. The label never released your full album for us to get 15, 20 tracks of you to see how good you are. It's always what could have been.
That's the thing. That's the thing. That's why he goes into the category of like street won't forget, because me personally, and that's just bias, I generally thought he was world class for us. Generally.
Makes sense. I understand that. What did
I'm saying bias because generally that team wasn't gonna function without him.
Yeah.
Like I think you could have replaced Dele and you could have replaced Wanyama in that midfield. But in those seasons under Poch, I don't think them, because I don't believe that I don't even think, Chuck, maybe you can help out. I don't think there is a genuine Musa Dembele region right now.
No.
A genuine guy.
Because he had the physical attributes, but then he had the technical attributes to go with it. He wasn't just raw power, but he's not just technique. He could get away from you with his skill, but then he could get away with you from the physicality standpoint.
And he had the IQ as well.
Yeah, and the IQ, adds in as well. Yeah, that's true. Like, that's what it is. Like, the same way you'll see a De Jong pick up the ball and be press resistant. Dembele could do that. But then De Jongs couldn't power away from people like a Dembele could. It's just, we never got to see him. We just never got to see him. We never got to see him on the highest, on the best,
on the highest level. Yeah, because
we never got to see him.
We were playing Champions League, but there's a difference between us playing the Champions League than we play for Real Madrid in the Champions League. It's like everybody's eyes gonna in there. Like sometimes, Tottenham plays in the Champions League. Not everybody's necessarily gonna pay attention first, because people want to see the Man United in the Champions League first. People want to see the Bayern Munich in the Champions League first. Real Madrid, Chelsea, whatever. So man, I heard what you're saying, man. Like, cause I'm trying to really think. Cause I feel, generally speaking, I generally believe that he was the driving force in that midfield.
Yeah,
driving force, like me personally.
That's it. No, great point. Just you lot continue to run up the likes before we close out, because we are going to close out in the next 10 to 15 minutes for the Yardman Show. We're at 75 likes. Let's get up to 100 likes, people. Hit the subscribe button as well. I'm not going to upload this. Spotify is playing up, people. I don't know what's going on. The Spotify, the Sarcasm City TV, iTunes as well has been playing up because of the SoundCloud RSS feed. I contacted Spotify a couple of days ago. They're trying to work on it, so I don't know what's going on. But as soon as it's updated, I'll let you lot know. Like, I still upload to the SoundCloud, actually, but the Spotify and everything else has just been playing up. I don't know what's going on with the RSS feed. If it plays up, continue, I'll have to reach out to SoundCloud and see what's going on, because they messing the thing up. Yeah, I'm still looking now. It's still messed up. I don't know what's going on. It's just not updating and shit. I don't know what's happening with it. I'm at a loss as to what exactly.
You see, Andy, I can't agree with you. I'm sorry, but Andy, because people were calling the cars the world class at Brighton, bro. Do people forget that?
Yeah, we had that.
I don't think it's necessarily even an agenda towards Liverpool. It's like, people were calling even world class at Brighton.
Yeah,
but obviously that's a question that DJ Dent has put in the chat. But obviously I have a question as well, because obviously you better you obviously do you want to go to Dent's question first, or
we'll go to Dent's question quick. Can you see any talent emerging to be world class apart from Saka, etc., lesser known names? No one in particular. No one I look at.
Because he said in the Premier League. I'll be honest. I think depending how he develops, I think Savio can generally be world class.
Savio's a shout, actually. That's a great shout.
I think he generally can be world class.
Savio.
In terms of talents emerging in the Premier League, I think. Okay, listen to this, man. I think Adoy can generally become, because now we're struggling with the left backs. I think Adoy can generally become a world class left back.
I think Adoy is definitely a shout. Yeah. Without doubt. Man is saying Duran or Rodgers. No, I think he can go in the top bracket. I think he can get top.
I think both of them top, definitely. Because to see with Duran, the issue with him is you can't forever stay back up to be world class. You can't.
Yes.
You just can't. And with Rodgers, I think Rodgers got extremely good attributes in this game. But you know what's the issue with Rodgers? My issue with Rodgers is that his final third is sometimes so inconsistent. Like I said, it's like if Rodgers can figure out this final third thing in his game, bro, this guy's gonna be. He's gonna be getting England call after England call. I generally believe that.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
see,
I remember that about Evan Ferguson. I remember that people calling Evan Ferguson.
100
That's crazy.
used to after 150. The issue with him is now the issue with him now is well, Evan Ferguson's been getting hella injuries. So I don't know what's been going on. So it's kind of the issue with him is he's not even getting back on the pitch. I can't really say so far. Maybe Brandwave. I think there is talent definitely there, but I don't know because the issue is like for me is that I rate Brandwave, but I think he can be a top centre back, but a world class centre back. Because you got to consider what we are after top class, what we are for top world class players. Okay, shit. We have Joel's thrown. There's a couple of names getting thrown in. Yeah, Essa. I can't say Essa. Essa is getting like it's like calling Rashford player Starboy. Like Essa is old, so it's can't. There needs to be a certain age that certain guys have to be. So I don't think necessarily that I can put in a Kudus in that category. Cole Palmer, we call him already because we call Cole Palmer the exception in terms of the world class players.
Yeah,
okay. I mean, there's two names from Real King right there. Obviously, Yeomans. Obviously, Sancho.
No, I wouldn't say. I don't think Sancho. But I think Sancho can be top class. Maino are also top class, but I don't think they'll become world class. No, but I have them both. They both have the potential to be top class. Yes, world class now.
What's it called?
Do I see Maino getting to a Palmer level? No. Do I see Sancho getting to a Vinicius Junior level? Nah.
Shit, Lavia, Dens, bro. Lavia generally, I think, can be world class. The issue with Lavia is that the guy is injury prone as fuck. So I don't think it's gonna happen. I think he's gonna be a top class player, Lavia, in the future, but world class. If the injuries wasn't there, maybe. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Andre. If I say it right, I agree. It's the issue with him is the dude just gets injured all the time. Can't even be on the pitch. Like Adam Wharton, I think Adam Wharton has the characteristics to be a top class player, but world class, nah. And I rate Wharton. I've been screaming about it.
You've been saying a lot about it. About what?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but unlike Ryan, I can actually admit I don't think he's been good. I don't think he's been great this season.
Now Ryan just tries to avoid it. Oh, he's playing with Lerma and bums at Palace. It's like,
bro, he played with them last season. That's the funny part about it.
Yeah, exactly. Man, just make excuses. Oh, I've not been watching. How ironic. How ironic.
And anybody knows my guy. Kudus is my guy, but I can't call it emerging because the dude is young as hell. But now the dude is like 24, 25. Okay, that's what my question because obviously we're gonna close out any shortly.
Get to the question before you do that. It's flawless. You know, I'm a Liverpool fan, but why have you guys loaned out Gomez? He's been outstanding for every England game, and I've seen him, and he's no longer a United player.
No, he's not United. He left on the free.
He left in quality, man. Like I knew about Gomez from from long time. Cause I know his cousin. So I went to college with his cousin, so I knew about Gomez from a long time and knew that he was a player of a certain quality. Manchester United making bad decisions. That's why. Manchester United and Gomez. He's impressive.
I remember United fans talking about how his height was a big issue for them. I was like, bro, do you guys look like this guy was after he left United? Because people talking about his little stuff. He was balling in Portugal for I think it was Victoria SC. I think they're called. I think that was the team. Let me just double check if it's 100% was them.
I'm thinking Boa Vista, but I could be wrong. You might be right.
It was one of might have been one of them two. Yeah, it was Boa Vista. There we go.
Boa Vista also.
Let me see. Yeah, Boa Vista. Like he had that Portugal season where he was also quite good, and then man, like yes, like I said, he's been always a quality player, and he's been doing that, which is again shows you the example that there's a lot of good ballers out. Like people saying there's not enough ballers out there. There's a lot of ballers out there. It's just because we don't hear them. Just haven't heard them yet. That's the issue.
You right? You spot on, fam. You spot on. And the King says, Flawless, what's the difference in your opinion between a top player and a world-class player? I just genuinely, everyone's disrespectful. I think world-class players can get you over the top being number one. I think top-class players are a part of that, but they're never the guy. That's what I'd say. That's the easiest way. There's probably more I can add to it, but off the top of my head, that's what I can think of. Like Manchester United being successful, I think Maino can play a role in that. But do I ever think Maino's going to be out of Paul Scholes in regards to being our go-to? Like, you was the outstanding player out of the trio. Let's say it's a 6 and 2/8. No. But do I think Maino could play a role in that? Yes. I don't think he's Chouameni level. I don't think he's Rodri level. But I think he can get to a very, very good level. I think he can be the tier below, 100%. Same way with other top class. I know someone else mentioned someone else. I remember, like Sancho. Do I think Sancho can play his role? Yes. Do I think Sancho's ever going to be Vinicius Junior or Yamal? No. In terms of level, no. But that's just me. Yeah, go on.
See, I mean, I made the example earlier. I think it's the Kane and Son comparison. Even though with Kane, the issue was the guy wasn't carrying the team, but imagine a scenario where Kane was actually including everything that Kane did, but also the fact that he was actually helping the team winning. Put that into the mind, people. And then you have Son there, who I look at. Some people call him world class. Me personally, for me, he was the top class player of the team. Same as Eriksen, same as Dele. Like these guys were the top class, with Kane being then the world class guy who, unfortunately, wasn't the guy who wasn't getting over the line. But you get the point what I was trying to say here. So that's all the Bayern Munich teams when Lewandowski was still at Bayern, you had him, and then me personally, there were times where I thought Kimmich was world class. When Lewandowski was still there were times where I don't think Kimmich was world class. I think he was top class then, me personally, because I watched a lot of Bayern and I was like, just never convinced personally. But yeah. These are the kind of like the comparisons I probably say. The question that I had, because obviously you want to end it.
Before we get to that, let me get to something from At, who says, who's the guy in Arsenal's team? You might be responding to someone else. I don't think Arsenal have that guy. That's why I don't have Saka as a world-class player. I think he's top class. I don't think Saka's world-class.
Saka is the guy in the Arsenal team only because obviously he's the only one who you can probably say is the one consistently performing to a good level, but then is it because are we calling the guy for Arsenal because it's just Arsenal just in general we all consider him the guy? I don't know how to properly explain it. It's like
how do you
say it? Like it's like Kane. It's kind of like Kane personally. Like you are like everybody recognizes you, or majority of people will recognize you as the best player. Yet when it's time to really get us that trophy, like the last few games, like remember when the first title charge and the guy missed the penalty against West Ham. I was like, bro, the guy doesn't do that. See, it's the same thing with Kane. Is that Kane scores his first penalty versus France, and then you saw the shit show that he put in the second one. I'm like, bro, what? And you knew the pressure that was on that shit as well. Like it was to tie the game. Like the same goal. It's like it's the same. It's kind of like the same way. But I do think Saka. But unlike Kane, I do generally believe Saka will be actually not in that category. I don't think so. But at the moment, maybe. But I don't
think he will be. Like, that's where I'm at with it. I don't think he will be, and I rate Saka, and that's not a shot. People will hear that and think that, oh, you're taking shots. I think Saka's a quality player now. I think he's very good now.
Bro, I defend this guy more than Arsenal fans.
Yeah, is he capable of contributing massively to Arsenal winning the league title or Champions League? In my opinion, yes. I think he needs I think he needs to be a part of the supporting cast. I don't put it this way. I think Saliba's a much better centre back than Saka is a right winger. That's the level you have to be. Yes, it's two separate positions, but make sure you understand what I'm saying when I say that, people. Saliba as a centre back is a clear level above Saka as a right winger. That's the point I'm making when I say that. But hey, people might take it as a shot. But
there's still saying like some people gonna take. As long as people actually, people. Don't say make sure you put something into your ears and clear that dirt out of there, just to make sure that you heard what exactly was said. Because a lot of people hear things and don't think, oh, what do you mean by that? No, I said this. I didn't say that.
Facts.
Because it happens a lot to me. People think I'm saying this thing, but no, I never said that. I'm saying in the manner that you just maybe didn't like it, but I don't know. But yeah, my question, and chat maybe can help me out for the guys who are old enough because, bro, obviously Iniesta retired. Iniesta retired, I think, this week, and I have one first question is, what do you believe his peak was for Barcelona, and then how did you view him as a player? Because obviously, from the time that you're probably gonna say his peak was, I probably didn't watch him because I was way too young.
His peak was ridiculous because his peak was so long. That's why it's tough to say when his peak was because they're arguably one of the greatest club sides they are one of the greatest club sides we've ever seen. Arguably the greatest club side we've ever seen. So it's very, very tough to be like when I'm just trying to hear and jog my memory in regards to like when they beat us in the Champions League final, that was just different. But I'd say anywhere.
Yeah, just if you have to put a long way, you can put a long way.
Anywhere from 05 to 06 to like when did Messi? But yeah, anywhere from 05 to 06 to I'm looking here where his numbers dwindled. So you could say from 05 to 06 to like 2013-14. And that's just me going off where his numbers dwindled in the league.
The thing is, so pretty much, that's a good reputation because based on that, I probably only would have seen 2 years of that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of asking, like, okay, how did you view him as a midfielder during that period, and where would you have ranked them between midfielders in terms of like top? He probably would be top 5.
I despised him because he wasn't what he did to my team. You know what I'm saying? He cost us in 2 Champions League finals because he's that good. Why I can't stand Messi and all the rest of them because they really not robbed us because I'm not going to go that far, but they stopped us. We had a quality side at that time, and if they were around, we'd have 2 more Champions Leagues. But hey, that's how things roll out. We did manage to beat them in a semi-final on the way to one. So, but yeah, Iniesta as a player, ridiculously good. One of the best of his generation. Like if you do an all-time. Well, it's tough to do all time because I haven't seen it. But if you do like from 2000 to 2024 and he makes the team, no one's saying anything. That's all I can say. So one of the best of his era, arguably the best in his era as well. He sits at that table. Now, where you rate him in regards to who sits at that table is the whole different conversation. But he's there with Modric. Like he's there with Cruz. He's there with Xavi. No debate whatsoever. Now, maybe you put him 5 on that list. But wherever you want to rate him, because as an 8, he was ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah,
and was dominant. And part of one of, like I said, the most dominant sides we've ever seen. So
even then, like I think obviously you talking about just the Barcelona thing.
Yeah, he dominated on it. He dominated on a world stage for Spain
bro.
as well.
Talking about somebody, this is what I meant with Mbappe. Like not necessarily this is trying to disrespect Mbappe, but I can sit here and say the World Cups, the Euros with Iniesta, and the impact that he was bringing to those winning sides. I remember that part, but like I mentioned, I didn't see the majority of his career, so that's why I'm kind of trying to hear from somebody who actually did see him. Because for me, it's very hard to speak on people that I haven't seen. Like it's just really hard. Like that's why I will talk about your Neymars, the Pogbas, because Bales. This was my time. This is the time that I'm from, but the Royce, etc. Whatever.
Yeah, he's right. He's right up there, like Iniesta. Like I said, sits at that table and no one disputes it. You're in the Hall of Fame. Your GOAT status. Now, when you want to start debating where he's at, that's when you nitpick. But you mentioned it there. He was a part of a team that dominated on an international scale as well. Scored the winner in. I believe it was the World Cup final. He scored the winner in. Like,
which is thing that I used to say all the time.
Like, and outside of that, like he was still, even if you don't score the winner and they win that, we're not using that against. Yeah, ridiculous because performances matched it. Just consistently performed at a high level, week in, week out, across all competitions, and then you add that to the international. Barcelona, La Liga, Champions League did the business. Spain did the business. World Cups and Euros. Ain't really too much to say.
And that's the thing as well, though. Like, and I remember we had the conversation. That in my eyes is important for certain players to be in certain conversations. For me, it's important that you do it for your country.
Facts.
I feel like if you want to be like we talking about goals of midfielders conversation, you have to be harder done in your country. Unless it was a thing where your country was just terrible. Yeah, it's like you play for Malaysia, for example. No disrespect for nobody from Malaysia, or you play for Ghana. There we go. And I'm Ghanaian people. I'm Ghanaian people. So unless you play for those countries, unless you play for those countries, for me to be considered in those goals conversations, you need to be doing it for your country. Like Zidane played for France, did it for France. Iniesta played for Spain, did it for Spain. See, Modric is the perfect example right there. We haven't in the conversations of CM midfielders but we haven't in those goals conversations. But even him though, he carried his name, he helped his nation get into a World Cup final.
He delivered.
Even though he didn't win it, he delivered. So it's kind of like I feel like you need to, if you want to be in goals of midfielders conversation, goals of sixes, goals of strikers. I do believe you need to be at least be a part then of international level winning in international level.
There's got to be something. Yeah, you have to do so. It's not necessarily do what Bale did for Wales.
Yes.
Don't have to win it. They reach a final, but he contributed massively to Wales reach. I think they reached a quarterfinal and a semi-final, knocked out Belgium. Take him out of that. They're not doing any he stood up and was like, all right, I'm him. That's what he did.
Generally. So that's why, that's what I say for me, that's what's important. The international part is very important for goal conversations.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, at least have standout performances. That doesn't necessarily mean your team winning. That doesn't mean your team winning the competition. It doesn't even necessarily mean your team winning the game. But look at it and we go, hey, you performed well today for me. We spoke about Mbappe in the World Cup. He lost the final, but his stocks rose. It's like, hey, you know what? Your team needed you in a World Cup final and you delivered, and that was a nation. Look at the lineup that France had out. That was a Nation League team. It was a Nations League team.
Oh, Dembele got hooked at halftime. No, he didn't even get hooked at halftime. Bro, that dude got hooked mid-game.
Go look at that team, man. Go look at that team that was out there. And they lost. It's like you can still do. And that's why I'm so critical of players now. When people go, "Oh, why'd you criticize like the better players?" Because you can still perform to a certain level. I'm not saying win it. I'm saying, hey, perform 8 out of 10. You're capable. Be a standout, like we mentioned, Bale for Wales. Look at the players he was playing with, and he got his nation to a semi-final.
Dan James, had Dan James next to him, bro. On the other wing,
and players like this. I think Joe Allen was there.
Even Ampadu that. Bro, are you kidding me, bro? Are you kidding me, bro? Tell me in that Euros who the fuck the centre backs were and the goalkeeper. Gunn was the goalkeeper.
I think one was Ashley Williams. I think Ashley Williams was one. I don't know who the other centre back was.
Bro, no, I'm just saying. Tell me a centre back, bro. And look at the teams that they had to play.
Wayne Hennessy in goal, yo. Wayne Hennessy in goal.
Wayne Hennessy, bro. Hennessy,
guess what?
Wayne.
They lost in the semi-final, but his stocks rose after that tournament because we're like, right, you could have really done too much more. You delivered. Same way with Modric.
Oh, I finished Aaron Ramsey as well, man.
Yeah, it wasn't even Aaron Ramsey.
No, I'm saying the finished one. Yes, I agree. Musiala for me, he's obviously knowing that he is in me. Since I'm Ghanaian, but also German as well, like born in Germany. So that's why I support both nations. And for me, when it comes to Musiala, I feel like I view him as the best player on the team, but I don't think he has done enough to be, certified. Okay, you are the best player of the team. So I look at him at the moment of time where I believe that Musiala, that title can be any time snatched out of you if somebody younger maybe comes through. Because you know how it is. There's always going to be somebody coming through that maybe better than you and snatch the shit out of him, snatches your chain.
Yeah.
So I feel like with him, I feel like this could be a thing. And I believe the same thing could happen to him even at Bayern Munich, where I believe like if you don't start developing that trait of like, because people call you the guy, but you don't do the guy things. Somebody else maybe comes through and takes the snatch chain off you, and then you're gonna be just the sidekick to all of this.
Facts. That's it. First king, yeah, because it's very tough. Because we're talking very particulars and it's variables, and there's no right or wrong answer because everyone's criteria is different. That's why I stated, all right, this is my criteria. This is why I think, but then again, like I said, there's exceptions to my own criteria because there's certain things you see and you're just like, yeah, you're him. Or the certain performances you'll see, and it's like you can't like Mbappe. Everyone knows Mbappe, one of my favorite players. One of my favorite players right now playing ball. But then when we got to it, I was like, I can't put you in world class because what have you done? What have you done?
100%.
But hey, we move. But we are going to close out Fire Show. Shout out to Jez, man of the match performance on this show today. Love to everyone that's locked in. You know what I'm saying? We are going to redirect over to the Yardman Show, people. We're going to redirect over there to the Yardman Show. It's just gone live right now.
I need to hear that same conversation, but I need to hear the same conversation, but we connect here and end.
You trying to have me on the show for 3 hours? We're doing Netflix. I'm tired now as it is.
Ask the question.
Nah, we're doing Premier League. Nah, I'm ignoring that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy trying to have, but yeah, love to everyone that's locked in. Like I said, the Yardman Show will do now, Premier League podcast. Appreciate that, Dens, as well, saying 6 stream. Big up to you all also. And then next week, it won't be the regular schedule. Monday to Friday will be the Sarcasm City special, second waves, where I'm sitting down with content creators and it's one-on-one and I'm asking them questions and getting their whole journey, people. So literally from them being at 0 subscribers and starting up until wherever they are now. Because I did it 5-6 months ago and I had all the Mount Rushmore, all the GOATs in this space, all the people I'm fans of, all the people you lot are fans of, your Troops and Rance and Lewis and Gunnar and Matisse, etc., etc. But this time it's Sarcasm City special, second wave. So it'll be second wave, and it's the second wave of content creators, the second class. So the future GOATs, the future Mount Rushmore candidates. Before anyone says anything, I'm in that class too. So I'm not like, it's not a bad thing. It's not a shot. It's not a criticism when I say you're second class. And you know how you know that? Because I put myself in the second class and I'm trying to graduate it too. I'm trying to get to the gold class. I'm currently silver. And I'm trying to get there.
Congratulations, like Kanye, bro. Come on, man.
I'm trying to this guy. I'm trying to get there. And one of the people I will have on is Northside. Shout out to Northside, for example. So you lot know the type of people that I will be getting on. But make sure you check out. It's on the main page anyway, on the YouTube channel, the Sarcasm City TV specials. Shout out to Warrior J because he's been doing the timestamps as we've been doing this. So he's been timestamping them. I'm going to post them all out tomorrow anyway. So I'll post them all out. But big up to Double AA. Zaya says, Bronze, you'll get there, man. We all gonna rise up. As long as you put the work in, the channels will continue to grow and we all gonna get to gold. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get to 50K, 100K subs. I'm trying to get my face on the Mount Rushmore. We all got to work. I appreciate that, but I'm not there yet, then. You know what I'm saying? When I look around and I look at our Troops and I look at Saeed and I look at Lewis, I know there's plenty more work to do. So it's not a criticism when I say, yo, second class, second wave. We all try to graduate from it, and we all will graduate. But hey, appreciate it, man. And for anyone's here said, I'm bronze, you'll be second wave soon. You know what I'm saying? You'll graduate the third class, the bronze class, and get up to second wave. And then, you know what I'm saying, the special. And then we'll do that. Because I'm going to continue doing these series throughout, like, as long as I'm content creating. You will still get more second wave series. You'll still get more of the Sarcasm City TV special, which is the gold one, as well. It's just when I can get at least 6 or at least bare minimum 5 to 6 people. That's why you haven't seen many more specials. Because I did it that week, and it's like, I don't want to drop off from that one, because that one was at a level in regards to the stories them lot was telling. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to each and every one of them. I think I did 10. I did 9, 10. Even Zaron. That was fantastic. I'm saying. But yeah, we're closing out. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Sarcasm City Sports Q&A live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Don't go anywhere because we're redirecting over to the Premier League podcast, Yard Man Edition. Salute.